A very good morning to one and all gathered here. On behalf of the organizers from Department of Management Studies and Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, we wish to extend a warm welcome and thank you to all the delegates, guests of honors, for this 1 week of FDP on Art of Edification, Contemporary and Innovative Practices for Effective Teaching. First of all, I would like to thank you all those who have traveled all the way from distant places, and I hope you had a great journey and are ready to have a learning based on interaction at the FDP. As rightly said by William Arthur Ward, the mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, and the great teacher inspires. We are glad to see you here and appreciate you taking the time and effort to join us on this incredible process of learning. Before we commence, let us all rise up for the prayer song. Gajanayutam Ganeshwaram Gajanayutam Ganeshwaram Bhajami Satatam Sureshwaram Shri Gajanayutam Ganeshwaram Ajendra Pujita Vigneshwaram Ajendra Pujita Vigneshwaram Ganati Sanuda Padapadmakaram Kunjara Vanjana Chaturadharakaram Kunjara Vanjana Chaturadharakaram Guru Agrajam Pranavakaram Kunjara Vanjana Chaturadharakaram Guru Agrajam Pranavakaram Gajanayutam Ganeshwaram Bhajami Satatam Sureshwaram Shri Gajanayutam Ganeshwaram. I request participants to remain stand for a few minutes. With much honor, I may ask the guest of honors on the dais to light up the lamp of knowledge and wisdom. Thank you, sir. Please be seated. Now may I request Dr. N. Kumaresan, sir, Program Coordinator and Associate Professor in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, to give away the welcome address.
Respected Professor Dr. Nurla, my co-coordinators Dr. Thamarajan, Clady, and other MBA, PhD scholars who are the backbone for actually organizing this workshop, and dear participants. Very good morning to all of you. I would like to share at least two experiences on why this type of workshops are essential for the faculty members. One, when I started my teaching career, I think it's the third time we are organizing this institute, and in all the time I say the same incident. So in the beginning, when I taught the class for undergraduate students, everybody started taking the feedback. I also thought I should take feedback from the students, and they gave the open feedback. They told, sir, you are simply mucking up and vomiting in the class, which we are not understanding anything on that. So after hearing that comment, I thought that no use, I thought of quitting the job. But incidentally, the institute or the AICD also organized 21-day induction training program in Teachers Training Institute. So there they are given a lot of inputs on the teaching learning process, what are the various methods, etc. etc. Recently, it happens in our institute, please don't go outside. Professor took the class and came out. Along with the professor, ample amount of students came out, and the professor asked the students, you don't have the class or not? Then the students told, yes, we have the class. Then he told why you are not attending. The students told headache. Then professor asked, haven't they headache now? They replied, not now. If I attend this class, I will get a severe headache. So it's, now students are very open, frank. And also, if we think that what we are teaching in the classroom is very much essential, it's also not that much okay. At least from the engineering point of view, I can confident enough to say that we have the good lecture materials, video lecture materials from the IIT process, and many of the lecture notes are video lectures are extremely good, NPTEL lecture materials are good. So if our way of delivering is not matching to that standard or going more than that, definitely the students may feel, what's the new things I am learning out of your teaching. So luckily, our institute, we have taken the step forward on introducing the flexible way of delivering teaching to the students. So its freedom is given to the faculty members, and the conventional way of teaching, chalkboard teaching is alone not okay. And in fact, we can improve upon that chalkboard teaching itself by using the technology. I'll little bit demonstrate on that aspect in the afternoon class where I handle. And two things it's happened. One is Kakotkar committee, and the second one is the outcome-based education. So I was the HOD in heading the electrical department. I really did not understood what is that they are talking on the NBA, outcome-based education. Then after going through all the things, if we have to successful on that outcome-based education and the teaching methods, I say the teaching methods, or the flexibility should be given to the faculty members to bring out the course outcome mentioned in each course. See, yes, last semester I had in the two courses, one for the undergraduate where it involves numerical examples, not the problematic subject, it involves more numerical examples. The other course for the PG students, postgraduate students, where each system is by itself of something like research content. So if I have to ask the question, so it's very difficult, because if they start carry out the derivations, even for one system they will take more than 3 years. So finding the question also it's very difficult. So under that situation, if flexibility is given to me, for the undergraduate students where it involves more number of numerical examples, I given 4 assignments. So assignment in such a way that it's like question paper, 1 hour question paper, I will give to the students on the classroom. They can see the open book, they can see and they can write it. So students also thought that for the first assignment they brought a big book, etc. Then they realized no use in those books, unless otherwise they listen my class and take the notes. So that's way we can make the students to take the notes. In the earlier system, like cycle test 1, cycle test 2, final exam. And when they go to the Xerox shop, they will say the name of the faculty, they will get one good Xerox. And for the cycle test period, they will read and they will do it all. Whereas now the system, it prevents, they must or they should work out in their note, take the numerical examples carefully, listen, and they have to assessment also it's involved for each unit and in the regular classroom itself. So by that way, we can devise our own method so that the students also interested and will also deliver good to the students. For the postgraduate students, I told you it's all the research based, more or less what we carry out in our institute. So we used to give the computer program development or laboratory, mini project, etc. etc. So the assessment based on those aspects. So ultimately, now the direction is towards outcome based education. That's what almost all the institute in our country agreed upon with that NBA. We are taking the accreditation. So the outcome based education entails that variety of teaching methods and a variety of assessment methods. So I believe that this one-week program will give some insight into on those aspects. Of course, with the engineering as well as science, we can give those examples, but I could see that participants from that law industry also. So I'm a little bit afraid on dealing with the biased teachers. So we'll try our level best, because this is considering that this is the fourth one. We are conducting fifth one. Okay, fifth one we are conducting on this course, and we have the ample amount of experience on in what way the best we can deliver to the participants. And the moment I say that we can deliver, it's reciprocal, and we expect active participations from the participants from the various institutes. Once again, I welcome all of you for this inaugural function as well as this course. Thanks to the MBA department, because they made the good all arrangement, because if you go outside it's too hard, and now comfortable stay is there inside the classroom as well as guest house also, evening period, evening time as well, because this is essential for even classrooms. See, one of the recommendations what we give to our administrations, make all the classrooms are AC. So it's not luxury, it's essential, because when I move outside it's almost sweating. So with such kind of environment, faculty cannot deliver properly. Undoubtedly students will not listen. So many a time I used to sleep in the classroom because it's a fatigue. So more than 20 minutes if we keep delivering using the chalkboard without breaking the monotony, it's not good at all. So with this 1 week course, you'll have the variety of methods, and no method is superior or inferior, and how well you use it for your teaching learning process is on your hand. So only we'll give that experience of the different techniques, and those techniques can be used in your teaching learning process. So thank you, all the best.
Thank you, sir, for acquiring us on the importance of art of teaching by sharing your own experience. Now, may I request Dr. N. Thamare Selvan, sir, Associate Professor, Program Coordinator from the Department of Management Studies, NIT Trichy, to say a few words about the program.
Very good morning. Respected Professor and my mentor for most of my administrative activities, Dr. Nurul sir, my co-coordinator and one more coordinator, Dr. Sindhu, who is not available, and Kumaresan sir. There are a couple of things I need to share today's morning, especially on this particular program. So this was happened 2011-12 when we are contemplating on conducting a couple of courses. So we thought that one of the core competency for the whole organization is that we had a couple of good teachers. Why not be placed on this? Because we need to share our own kind of knowledge with most of the organizations. So suddenly we thought that why not we conduct a lot of pedagogical methods, teaching methodologies that are available in the curriculum activities. So 2012, 13, 14 consecutively we conducted in the name of Art of Teaching. Okay, so after that we had a small break of 3 years, and And once again, we thought of conducting a couple of more courses. Apart from art of teaching, we used to conduct a lot on research-related activities. And we conducted on data analysis, we conducted data mining, support vector machines. We conducted on life skills, there are soft skills, so many number of 5 days faculty development program. So we just wanted to reinitiate the similar kind of enthusiasm in our MBA department along with the other department in the institute. So once again we had a talk, why not we reinitiate this kind of things. So we modified because we could understand that one or two people are also coming for the repeat based on their own interaction, their own satisfaction with the daily programs. And we also found that there are a lot of new, especially digital things are happening, technologies are happening in the teaching methodologies. So we just revamped the whole thing, except 2-3 games and 4 other kind of things. The remaining all other activities we have changed. Okay. So this is very simple. Even before coming to the class, we need to have understanding about the students' learning styles. Okay. So now you know pretty well that there are a lot of distractions are happening in the students' life. So we need to understand the technology tech-savvy students. So understanding the students, and second one is how to prepare for the class and what are the things to be done, and after that while inside the class what exactly you are supposed to do with the board, with the students, how to go about in making a group teaching, team teaching, and what are the innovative and creative teaching methods are available. And apart from that we are also, teachers are also having a lot of stress, so how to balance their work-life balance. And sometimes there are a lot of problems with the students, and students are creating a lot of problems with the faculty. So how to be very emotionally balanced in terms of handling those kind of a situation from your life, from your teaching within the class, and how to balance your administrative, research and teaching skill. So all put together, we have come up with this particular schedule. Probably we must be having all this kind of a schedule. Immediately after this inauguration program, I will be probably around 20-30 minutes I will be spending on each and every kind of a session, what exactly we are going to focus, so that you get a holistic picture of what is going to happen for the next couple of days. Okay, that is one thing that I wanted to share. Okay, so second thing is that we made good arrangements both in guest house as well as here, and also in terms of food. And if you come across any kind of even a little bit of discomforts, please bring it to our knowledge. And you know pretty well that how Daniel was handling all these kind of interactions, because there was only a backbone in terms of designing the program. So from designing the program to bring all these people to this particular class and conducting, everything was taken care of by Danny, Gladys and Tushar. So these are the 3 people. And apart from that, I have got one more very good in technology, and Darren. Okay, so all these people will be available here. You just bring any kind of event, whether it is relevant to guest house, relevant to the classroom atmosphere, or any kind of resource material that you are talking about. So you just ask, and whatever possible, and we will try to share it with you. Okay. So with these few words, I just wanted to, along with Kumaresan, I just wanted to extend my warm welcome to all the participants. And definitely you will have a fantastic time for the next couple of days. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for providing us with the opportunity to get gathered here on learning the art of teaching. On this pleasant occasion, with due respect, I would like to introduce to you Dr. A. Nurul Haq, Senior Most Professor, HAG Cadigar, from the Department of Production Engineering, NIT Trichy. Welcome you, sir. He has served in the academic industry for over 40 years, and he has completed his Bachelor of Engineering, Mechanical stream from Annamalai University, PGDIP, Industrial Engineering from Madras University, and ME, Mechanical Engineering from Madras University, and he has completed his PhD on Manufacturing Management from IIT Delhi. His core areas of specialization and professional interest would include operations management, industrial engineering, and optimization techniques. He has authored for over 100 papers and articles published and presented in various reputed international and national journals and conferences. Please join me in welcoming Dr. A. Nurul Haq, Senior Most Professor, sir, to give away the presidential address.
The coordinators of the program, Professor Thomas Selvan, Professor Kumaresan, the participants from various institutions, good morning to you all. This course title, Art of Edification, once I see this, when Thomas Selvan asked me about that one, frankly telling, I am not aware of this word edification. Just then I went to the website, web, Google, all those things. I came to know this, the edification word has come from Latin, and initially it is a strictly a religious sense in the meaning of building up of soul. For that only they call it edification. Maybe later on it is improvement and understanding, especially through instructions. It is considered to mean spiritual, generally when referring to any kind of education, classification, clarification and better understanding of any issues. And edify is defined as that instruct someone in a way that it uplifts them morally, spiritually and intellectually. In that sense, maybe they would have given that word edification, the improvement of the faculty in terms of teaching methods. And what is the need for this improvement? That has to be seen. Whether the teaching method that is followed at present is not up to the mark, then why it has to be improved? Then again, maybe as far as I know, the current system of teaching, what they follow is the traditional teaching and evaluation method. And teaching in a classroom using chalk and talk is one-way flow. As Professor Kumaresan has mentioned, I am also, I am disagreeing with that. Chalk and talk method is not a bad one. It also because, as you know, it is a teaching learning process. But most of the thing what is happening currently is only teaching process is going on. Learning is absent most of the time. Learning is also there, most of it is not there. And we think that chalk and talk method will give only teaching and it will not encourage the students for the learning process. That can be done. That can be done. As Professor Kumaresan told, maybe he may be explaining those in your course of time. Learn the chalk and talk method also, you can encourage the students to learn the subject. That is the way in which you give the material. Material means your presentation. So therefore, chalk and talk method also can be, it is a teaching learning process, it may also be effective. And most of it is not happening, that is the problem now. Another, the current education system also, continuously a faculty goes to the class, continues to talk for 1 hour or 2 hours, without bothering about the students' response or students' feedback. That's why this type of learning process is not there among the students. And also the material is presented only based on the lecture and the textbooks. And more important, in a chalk and talk method, when a teacher goes, he writes by hand on the board. If the handwriting of the lecture is not clear, then that is the fate of the subject. That is one of the disadvantages here. So that has to be improved. And there is an insufficient interaction with the students in classroom. And also more emphasis should be given for the practical things, not only the theory things. These may be considered, these are some of the drawbacks for the existing teaching system by the faculty that has to be improved. For that only this course is being done. And again, one more word they have added in the title, art. Art is a teaching can be considered as an art. A faculty, how he handles the class, how he delivers the material to the students, it is art. So that faculty has to be trained in that one art of teaching, art of delivering the material to the students. So only they are quite in this way. And to remove these drawbacks in the existing system, there are a number of innovative tools are there, and some of the tools are the multimedia learning process by PowerPoint, MS PowerPoint, the Windows and so on. Then mind map. Mind map is considered as another innovative tool for teaching. Mind map is that the visuals are shown to the students. Instead of giving only lectures, if the visuals are shown, students are able to understand, and they will be confident on their subject. So therefore, that is another innovative tool. Maybe your resource person will be dealing about all these things. The another innovative tools may be considered as a teaching with sense of humor. And every teacher, all teacher will not get this one. Here only the art comes, plays a major role. Whatever you teach to the students, it will be some humor should be also combined with your teaching. Then in that way, the students can understand and the student can understand the various concept. The one more approach is Z to A approach. Z to A approach, that is best. Start with the practical. If suppose for example in management you take the motivation. Motivation is an aspect taught by the management, and go to the promotion and awards. Promotion awards to the given to the employees or the faculty, whatever it may be. That is the application. Then if you say that one, then students should learn. Then you come to the what is promotion, what is award, why it is given, why it should be given, in what way it should be given, and in that way the motivation comes to the picture. In that way, if it is engineering also, you give the application first and then go for the concept. That we call as that they call as Z to A approach. So some similar such sort of innovative tools can be used to improve the learning process for the students. Not only teaching by the faculty, learning also should be there. So in our institute, with the coordination, with the micro activities of one of the coordinator, Professor Kumaresan, and his professor or former dean academic and their team, a big team is there. They have done a lot of work, lot of changes. They have brought our curriculum, our system, everything, and it was much appreciated by at the national level. And our NIT Trichy was taken as a base point for that one. And maybe because of this team and one more your resource person, Professor Bhaktavachalam, and Guru Raj is also one of your resource person. These two teams, they are the major player for bringing our institute and the NIR ranking to the top. Among the 31 NITs, we are ranked at top now. So their role plays a very important. So therefore, so the flexible system, flexible curriculum, everything plays a very big role, and it has to be improved. Main thing is, it is a teaching learning process. It should not be only teaching, learning also should be there by the students. And mugging up, memorizing, that should be avoided as much as possible. The student when come to the class, he should understand the subject, and he should all concepts should understand, then go for the exam, all those things. So therefore, the teaching learning process has to be improved definitely. So I am happy that this team has conducted a number of courses previously. Also, this fifth one was told. It is good. Best wishes to them, and I hope for this 5-day course, you will enjoy that one. You will get some benefit out of it, and you will take this benefit to your institute and try to implement in your colleges, institute and all. So I am happy to be involved in this inauguration of this 5-day program. Best wishes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with the origin and the significance of teaching. Sir, we are all grateful for your gracing this program by your esteemed presence. Honorable Professor Dr. A. Nurul Haq, Professor, respected Dr. N. Kumare Sir, and Dr. N. Tamre Selvan Sir, and our most valued invited guest. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to have been asked to propose vote of thanks on this occasion. I, on behalf of this FDP on Art of Edification, an entire organizing crew, let me call it fraternity of experienced educators here together, and on my own behalf extend a hearty vote of thanks to all the speakers for gracing this occasion and on the importance of work and sharing us with your findings and opinions today. Thank you, sir. A big thank you to Dr. A. Nurul Haq, sir, for his efforts toward explaining the significance of edification. And I must mention our deep sense of appreciation to Dr. N. Tamre Selvan, sir, for his extending warm welcome to all our delegates. And further, we are grateful to Dr. N. Kumresan, sir, for demonstrating his experience in the field of teaching. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our hearty thanks to the program coordinators, Dr. N. Kumresan sir, Dr. N. Tamre Selvan sir, and Dr. B. Sendal Arsa sir, as the wheel starts rolling weeks ago, and it requires planning and a bird's eye for details. We have been fortunate to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues of NITT DOMS and Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering who knew their job and are result-oriented. Once again, we are thankful to each and every one of you here for marking your presence to grace this occasion. Thank you all.